What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Submission Fishing Live. Thank you for joining. Let's see who we got in here today. Leonard, what's going on, man? Eric, thanks for joining. Aaron Kruger, the Spotty Slayer himself, DFA in the house. Thank you for joining. Dario, what's going on, man? For those of you guys seeing the oos, everybody saying oos just means they like the video. So I appreciate that, guys. Salty, thank you so much. Congratulations, Salty. He won the dethroned me as the biggest spotty in the final hours of Spotty Bowl. Got that 17-incher. Came up short on my 16 3/4. Still got the heaviest, so I'll take that. That was a fat fish. I don't know if I ever beat that one. It was like over 2.5 inches for sure. Everybody did really well. I mean, what are you guys going to do now that the season's over? Now we got to go out there and fish for fun. Well, I guess some of us are still in the playoffs, but for everybody else, it's like a love-hate relationship, right? You want to keep fishing, but kind of sad it's over at the same time. Like, I totally understand that. How do you guys feel about it? Sorry, my cat's over here throwing up on the floor, so trying to navigate that, dangers of the live stream. Let's see what we got here. Everybody else, again, thank you for coming in. Yeah, skinny and long. Hey, man, but the length is everything, when it comes to tournaments. It's like, well, not all tournaments. Some tournaments are based on weight, but usually they're length for sure. But yeah, I was surprised how skinny that thing was. For those of you that don't know, Salty had a 17-inch spotty this last weekend, but it was 2.15. Was not very heavy. Kind of on the lighter side. Roger Stern, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. And DFA representing. Good to have you guys in. That's awesome. Just go through the news here. So a couple things. There was 17 million gallons of sewage spilled, and they shut down beaches, I think, up in like the LA area. So if you're fishing up there, be aware of that. I think that happened yesterday. They shut it down pretty quick. I don't think it's open yet. You'll have to check. I just noticed that was a thing. So if you're fishing up there, definitely take a look. Just something to be aware of. Like I said, I think it was 17 million. The sewage plant, I guess, like a valve opened up and dumped 17 million gallons. So don't be eating any fish out of the up north there if you're gonna go fishing, even if they open it up. So it's just something to be aware of. But yeah, this last weekend was good. I missed the tournament fishing because I was out in Laughlin visiting family, and my dad, he lives up there in Bullhead, so we stayed in Laughlin and then went to the river. Did some river fishing. First time I've ever fished in the Colorado River. Didn't really know what the hell I was doing. So went out there, was just throwing jerk baits. I went to one of the local guys and just picked his brain, and he was pretty cool. Let me know, what to get. Everybody was talking jerkbait. Coach Worf too. Thanks for the tips. And I went to like River Kings Tactical. They make these in house. He just sold me a jerkbait, so I was out there throwing it. I didn't catch anything. It was 123 degrees, so it was like freaking ridiculous. And then I was on the Nevada side, and there's not much room to fish over there because there's all the casinos and it's all private property, so everybody doesn't want you to fish. If you've ever been to Laughlin's, or if you go there and want to fish the river on the, I don't know which end that is, closer to the bridge where you're coming in from Bullhead, it's the very first hotel on the strip is Don Laughlin's Riverside. They actually have a designated fishing area. It's called the like Fisherman's Point. So there's docks there that you can fish from, and then you can go further up towards the dam, the Davis Dam, and there's a spot there that's protected from the buoys that you can fish too. But I mean, they got carp. I saw carp, tons of carp were swimming under the docks, but I just was geared up for basically striper. I just wanted to catch a big striper. I could have brought some different gear and got some of the carp because I saw them under the dock. I mean, those things were, they were tanks. They were freaking huge. The water was super clear. But I wasn't out too long. I didn't stay out, again, within it's like 100. I went out in the morning and it was already like 105 degrees. So I was throwing, I think I went an hour, maybe hour and a half each day, just casting. Nothing came up though. But we'll be back. I go out there every year to go visit my dad, like I said. So we'll give it another shot.
Still have a Stingray and Jesse.
Stingray, what's going on, man? Jesse, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Will be nice to see how to fish. Yeah, Jesse, you finally get to fish your local water. Jesse comes up here, or was coming down from Orange County to fish in the Spotty Bowl. For those who don't know, Spotty Bowl is it's a local tournament down here in San Diego, and it's not like a one-day tournament. It's a thing where we fished. I think there was 2 seasons, and it was 6 outings each one. And then in the first season, there was 6 people that made the playoffs. Second season, there was another 6 people in the playoffs. I think there was 40 something people total. It was all kinds of side pots: longest spotty, longest other, heaviest spotty. So that part is over, and now we're into the playoffs. I won the heaviest spotty, and there's angler of the month too. So I won angler of the month 1 month. That's the person I think that has the most length in there. Salty, who's in the chat, if you guys have any questions, that dude's won it twice. I think he had the most first place wins. I had 2 first place wins, 1 third place win, heaviest spotty. I had an angler of the month, and then I get a bye. So I was first place in the second round for the playoffs. So I get a bye. We get to skip the first round, get to watch everybody fish. So that's pretty cool. But it was fun. I mean, I'm pretty happy with my performance. You know, I've never really competed like that in a tournament and did pretty well. So, I mean, I can't complain. Out of the 5 I fished, I got a first, a third, and a first. And my first couple outings, I didn't do that well. I think I got a 6th place, mostly because I had like penalties and stuff like that. Eric Lehman dropped the hammer on me for open mouths and stuff. So getting the hang of that. But everybody fished really well. One thing is everybody improved, man. It was cool watching the progression. And towards the end, it was like everybody getting all the legals, so many legals caught. Salty had most legals caught as well. And that was so awesome. And I was at a point where it was like, if I didn't have 5 legals, I was just like, oh man, what a crappy day. So spoiled. It was crazy.
Mark and my brother Jeff.
Mark, you made it, man. What are you at the beach? If you have any questions, Jeff C, what's going on? Is that Jeff Cornish?
Yeah.
All the way from Virginia?
Past his bedtime.
Had a boy, man. It must be late over there. That's Jessica's brother, by the way. Shout out to him. We went fishing last time we were out in Virginia a couple years ago. Went and got on some croaker out there. That was a fun day. Everywhere I go, I got to fish. Whether I'm in Greece, Alaska. So I'm going out there, not out there, but I'll be in Charleston. Was it North Carolina? For Christmas, and we're looking at fishing trips. Try to get on some like reds or tarpon. Is that what they have out there? So that'll be exciting for sure.
Yeah, I think tarpon.
Dave Rage, the tuna killer. What's going on, man? Are those bluefins still out there? Jackie, thank you. That's my sister. She was out there in Bullhead with me, out in the 123-degree weather. You know what was crazy? So we were at the river, and it was super hot. I packed up all my stuff, and there was some girl who went down. She like fell down, and Jessica, my wife, was like, yeah, she had a jellyfish or something. She got stung by a jellyfish. She was laying down. She said there was like something attached to her foot, and they didn't take it. So like the hotel staff, because we're on the hotel beach, they had to take her away. And we were like, oh man, there's a jelly, whatever. I don't think there's jellyfish in the river, right? She was like, yeah, but her feet were all like swollen and stuff like that. So I think she went up to the hotel to get something, and the girl was still up there. And like the skin was hanging off her feet. She had blisters on her feet from just walking on the sand, or she must have come out of the hotel and just on the spent. She was probably like 13 years old, little teenage lady, and just couldn't even walk because of the blisters on her feet. Like it was no joke. And I don't think she'd went very far, but they had just swole up. I mean, that's how freaking hot it was, which is crazy because the river's so cold, you can hardly get in it. It's like 60, 50 degrees. You get in there and it like takes your breath away. But I guess that's why the fish go in there. It's my understanding the striper. So this guy that I saw at River Kings, he's up in Bullhead, and I told him I'm a saltwater guy from San Diego, and he gave me some good advice, and he like related it to me, which was nice. He was like, the striper are like yellowtail. He's like, they move, they go up and down the river, so they're not going to be in one spot, like the bass are. They're in the reeds and stuff like that. So that was good advice, let me know that you can fish for 2 hours, you don't get nothing, and then all of a sudden a school comes through, and the same thing, they'll boil sometimes, and they'll start popping off. But I don't think I was out there long enough casting to get anything, but it was still super fun trip. Of course, I missed Spotty Bowl, watched all my records disappear. It was all good. Needed a break. Yeah, dude, it was crazy. I mean, that's how hot it was, blistered feet and everything. Tuner's still there. Dude, Dave, that's awesome. I know. I need to get on a boat. Jackie tells Zoe said hi. It was good seeing her this weekend. Tell her to come down. We'll get her on some fish. Bring that rod I got her. But yeah, anyways, I just took a rod with me. So I got these travel rods. I don't know if you guys are into those things, but I just flew with them. It's super easy. Like this one I had. Breaks down into 4 pieces. This one's like the Daiwa Ardeo, and I believe I got this at Turner's, but you can get them online too. And this it's pretty awesome. It's got the lures 1/4 to 1 ounce. It's a 10 to 20 pound test. This one's a medium heavy. Dude, this thing was super heavy duty, and it had a ton of backbone. So it breaks down into 3 pieces. Like I said, I think it's a 7'11". I just brought my SLX off of my rod, or off of one of my other rods. Yeah, packed it in my bag, and then you can just carry this thing on. Comes in a little case, a little hard case, super light. So I recommend you guys, if you're going somewhere, get some of these travel rods. I got 2 other ones. I got like this little tiny one. This is what I caught that lightning trout on. When you guys see my video when I went up to the lake. So this one's an ultralight, a little cheap $20 reel. So whenever I go up to the lakes, this one's even smaller, and it's a 4-piece as well. That one's a Daiwa Ardeo.
Down in SD and sound fishing over here.
It's just this little case. So when you guys toss this thing back in a backpack or whatever, and
Dario has a question.
it's the way to go. Then I got another spinning. Got the Mega Force. This one's a 4-piece as well. Medium heavy. This one's just a spinning. A little heavier than the ultralight, but you guys just take these everywhere. I mean, throw one in the back of your car. They're pretty nice rods. I don't know why they're all, I don't know if Daiwa is the only one making travel rods or something, because all the only rods I have that are Daiwa are these travel rods, and I got 3 of them. But yeah, it was super easy. So if you guys haven't flown with it, like I just took one little pack of baits, or like stick baits and stuff, in a plastic case, just threw it in my backpack, my SLX reel, and then I took that tube, and then when I went out on the river, just tied it up. I brought a little thing of fluorocarbon. Simple. So if you travel, man, you guys look into that for sure. So I wasn't sure how that was going to work, right? I've never flown with rods. Usually I go somewhere and I rent the gear, but that was the first time I've flown with them, and super easy, man. Definitely recommend. So get yourself a light setup and just travel with it, because everywhere you go, there's fishing. Just travel everywhere. Then if you have an Akuma PCH rod, what do you think of it? I don't have any Akuma rods, Dario. I have Akuma reels. I have the Komodo, like the 200 size. That thing's pretty awesome. I've got, and then Akuma Avenger, like spinning reel. But yeah, no rods, no Akuma rods.
SD and sound fishing.
Sound fishing, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Down in SD, good to see you, man. Awesome, you guys can join us. Yeah, Jesse, you got the 4-piece ugly stick. Yeah, I was having trouble finding travel rods, but I think you can get them online is better. Yeah, Jesse, I know you go around a lot fishing, right? So that goes Colorado River. Yeah, so this weekend we're going to, so what do you guys want to hear first? The La Jolla tips or eating the spotty? Maybe we'll save the eating for spotty on the second part, when I ate a spotty for the first time. But I'm going out to La Jolla this weekend. I know Mark G's going out there. A few guys are going out there. So that'll be super cool. I'm going to launch probably 5:30. I think Mark G wanted to go out at 5:30, so I'll probably wait for him. But I'll be down there at 5. I think the sets, we went out, me and Salty went out 4th of July, and I think it looks like it's going to be the same. You know, the weather pattern changes, but the sets were like 6 seconds. That's what they're saying now, is like 7 seconds. So that's what we launched in the week before last. It's definitely doable because the waves aren't big, but you're going to get wet. I put out a video yesterday if you guys want to know what it looks like. I went to La Jolla and they were 6-second waves. So on that video, I have the launch, and then at the end, I have the landing. So you can see it in the kayak, kind of how it's done. Landing went super smooth. You don't ride the waves in. The launch, it wasn't that bad either, but you're going to get wet. I mean, when they're 6 seconds apart, I mean, you're going to take waves over the front for sure. You just can't beat the timing. You know, we went out and it was supposed to be 17 seconds and it wasn't. They were reduced by 10 seconds. That's huge, over half. And we just got pounded. You'll get there at 5. Yeah, Mark, I'll be there probably at 5. We'll probably launch at like 5:30 then, I'd say. But yeah, yeah, Eric, I had my blankie, dude. Totally. I had a towel. It was overcast. It was cold that day. But bring a dry bag if you guys are going out like for the first time or you're not too experienced with the short waves, or the short timing in between the waves on the launch. You're probably going to get wet. Bring a dry bag and put in some towels. Put in a change of clothes if you think you're going to need it. It's been hot, so I think you'll probably be okay as far as the temperature goes. I mean, I didn't dry off till like 2 p.m. It took forever. So I wrapped myself. I had a towel. I wrapped it around my legs, dude. But that saved me. It was so awesome. I looked like a piece of candy corn though. I had my orange vest. I had
At least it matched your
a
kayak.
yellow shirt on, and the towel I had was like orange and white striped. I watched the video. It was like a piece of candy corn out there fishing. Yeah, but bring a towel. Bring a change of clothes for something. Zachary Riggs, what's going on, man? My papyrate, my fellow teammate. We ended up getting fourth place in the team competition. Dude, super proud of you, man. You did really well. Fish your ass off. I know you were getting better every single time, man. I love seeing that. I'll do La Jolla, but I got to pre-fish to try to get back into the game. Yeah, a little bit. It's been a while. Pre-fishing is fishing a spot before the tournament. So Dario made the playoffs, and he'll be fishing in, is it SD Bay? Yeah, it's SD Bay. If you didn't make the so you didn't have a buy, Dario, so you'll be fishing. Yeah. Pre-fish is basically you go out there a day or two before, or maybe a week before, and you survey the area, see where the fish are, because it changes, right? You might have found them in the docks earlier in the season. They might have moved to open water. They might have moved to open docks. So you go out just a little bit before and see if you can get a bead on where the fish are. Like Brian was talking about with the patterns, right? You got to kind of see where they're at. So that's some good tournament advice, you guys. If you're going to fish a tournament, see if you can get out there a week before, even better, just a couple days, and really see what happens. I know after the buy, I'll be fishing Mission Bay. I'm not a great Mission Bay fisherman. I don't have that much experience there. I feel like San Diego Bay, I can compete with pretty much anyone. I won the last two that I was in, or tied for first, and that one with Leonard. Leonard tied me in that one in San Diego Bay. I feel like I can crush it, but Mission Bay, I'm not too familiar with, and I understanding they're moving around. So after the buy, after this week, I'm definitely going to go out there probably 2-3 times before and just see where I can find them. Go check deep, see if they're still at some of my places on the docks. If they're not there, I got to go find new spots. So that'll be a challenge. Mission Bay is not. I got a third place there, but I'm not like super confident that I can just wreck shop at Mission Bay because I have just a handful of spots, and then outside of that, I don't really know where to go. My few spots have been good for me, so I'm gonna have to pre-fish. I'll go pre-fish that area. Yeah, definitely. But I think we got a week. Yeah. I do La Jolla, but I got to fish, get back into the game a bit. Oh yeah. So you're gonna go this weekend, Dario? Yeah, that's smart. I understand that. La Jolla is always gonna be there, but you can't pre-fish so much. Make sure your rudder's down. Yeah, make sure your rudder's down before you jump in. Your yak gets sideways, and you're gonna flip. Yeah, don't go in sideways. Don't launch sideways either. So when you're launching in La Jolla, just make sure you're going straight on. Keep going straight into the waves. Just take them over the bow, because once you turn and they hit the side of the boat, that's when you roll over. Same thing coming in. And when you come in, don't ride the waves. Don't wait for a wave and then ride it in. Wait for a wave to go and then paddle like hell. You want to go in between the waves. And then when you're about waist deep, just jump off and grab your kayak. Like I said, look at my last video. I know Roman's got videos, Roman Castro. Check out his channel. He's got, I think, plenty of La Jolla videos for kayaking, how to get on and off. Probably more descriptive than mine. I didn't really explain it so much, but you can see kind of in practice how it goes. Cal Oos, thanks, man. Thanks for joining.
So how does Zachary Riggs you did? What about Oscar?
Cal's the man. Oscar, what's going on, man? Two geeks. What's going on, dude? Love the La Jolla video. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You going to go out with us this Saturday? So anyways, there's a couple things I wanted to go over as far as La Jolla. I know some of the yellowtail are coming out. So make sure you have heavy enough gear. Don't bring, a lot of us are bay fishermen. Bring more of your boat stuff or bring some heavier stuff. Unless you're just going to fish like rockfish, you'll probably be okay. Just bring your heavier bay stuff. But if you're looking to get on like some calico, or even if the bonito are out there, might be a little too much for some of that bay gear. So make sure you've upsized a little bit. Like I said, if you're just going rockfish, don't worry about it. You'll probably be fine. Make sure you got enough weight. Make sure you got circle hooks. for the rockfish. Remember, only 2 hooks. So that's something I wanted to go over too. So when you're fishing for rockfish, there's rockfish out in La Jolla, and then there's everything else. We got the calicos, there's sand bass, barracuda, but you can only use 2 hooks when you're fishing for rockfish. Um, Now, what comes into play is when I use slow pitch jigs a lot, and can you use a slow pitch jig with more than 2 hooks on it? That is the question. I don't think you can, because it's the law says it's 2 hooks. So to be safe, make sure you're only fishing 2 hooks. Now, the spirit of the whole thing obviously is because they don't want you sending down 5 hooks and pulling up 5 fish. Obviously, you're not going to throw a slow pitch down with even 3 or 4 hooks and catch more than 1 fish. Maybe you get 2. Like, I understand that. I don't know if there's any regulations or different. You guys are going to have to check it out. But to be safe, I would just make sure you're fishing the 2 hooks. So here's a traditional, like, here's one of the slow pitches that I throw, especially one of these heavier ones. I like to rig them up with the hooks, but you see how this one has 4 hooks. There's hooks on the bottom, two on the top, 2 on the bottom. Now this is usually what I throw, or I'll do 2 here, and I'll throw 1 on the back, so it looks like that. So now if you're fishing yellowtail, bonito, calicos, that's perfectly fine. You can fish as many hooks as you want, and I don't think you're going to have a problem. Actually, I know you're not going to have a problem with that slow pitch if you're fishing for those type of fish. But it's my understanding is that if you have a rockfish on your boat, if you catch it with this, first off, I'd release it because there is more than 2 hooks. And if you have a rockfish on your boat, you cannot be fishing with more than 2 hooks. I don't think at any time, not even a sabiki is my understanding. So if you have rockfish, don't throw the sabiki in. Don't throw anything with 2 hooks, because if you get stopped, they're going to see you fishing with something more than 2 hooks, and they're going to see that you have rockfish in your boat, even though you didn't catch them with the 2 hooks. It's like a possession thing is what they call it. So it gets kind of sticky. Like I said, I don't know what constitutes multiple hooks on a jig. So I would just say don't do the more than 2 hooks, right? Is it treble hook 3 hooks? I don't know. What they don't want is really 5 hooks on the thing. So when I throw slow pitch, I have some modified ones. I'll throw this. So this is about a little smaller than the other one, but I just do 1 hook on one side and 1 hook on the bottom. So this is just 2 hooks. So it don't matter. I can get rockfish on this, yellowtail, bonito. It doesn't matter what I catch. And then the second variation is I have this one. So there's no hook on the bottom, but I just have long hooks in the front. And this one's good too. So only 2 hooks. 2 hooks on the top, no hooks on the back. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are pulling up rockfish, avoid something like this if you're going to be throwing slow pitch. Now, you throw this all you want. If you're catching yellowtail, I killed it on the calicos last week, or week before last. Smashed the calicos on that thing. It's perfectly fine. There goes my rod. So you can do many hooks as you want on the bass. Sand bass, doesn't matter. Calico doesn't matter. Yellowtail doesn't matter. Bonito doesn't matter. Mackerel doesn't matter. Keep throwing the hooks. But if you guys catch a rockfish, even if you catch it, don't catch it on a 4-hook thingy. So you're down there catching rockfish on a 2-hook setup. Do not throw anything else with more than 2 hooks, because you can get a fat fine. You'll get busted. I'm going to try to get some more clarification on like a slow pitch like this. Like I said, you're never going to catch more than 2 fish on this thing, but just to be safe, it's one of those technicalities, right? It's more than 2 hooks. I wouldn't mess with it. So modify some of your stuff if you've got trailers on the back. Even if you have this and then just like a treble hook, you're up to 3 hooks already. So just keep that in mind. As long as you don't have rockfish on your boat, you'll be okay. Because even I believe if you catch one, now check all your own laws, guys. Don't just take my word for anything. But I think even if you're targeting calicos or something else and you catch a rockfish on something with more than 2 hooks, you cannot keep it. So just throw it back. So you can throw this thing looking for other stuff. You can't target rockfish, but if you're catching yellowtail and stuff, say with this, or bonito, or even calicos, and you hook a rockfish, just throw it. So second you keep one, you got to pump the brakes on the multiple hook stuff. So that's a just important tip for you guys to know. Like I said, just check the regulations. Make sure you guys know what's going on. Also in La Jolla, you've got the MPA, which is I think the Marine Protected Area is what it's called. If you're going out in a group, we'll get past it, but you got to go a ways out. Past the beach in La Jolla before you can fish. So there's some fat. some fat fines. There's also what salties. There's so much water right now; it's hard to get them to bite. So much bait in the water right now; it's hard much to get them. You talking about the yellowtail salty or the rockfish? Also, only one pole. Also, so that's good to know. I'll have to look on that. I don't think I knew that one. So that's if you have like one on the boat, right? Or if you can't target rockfish with more than one pole. Is that correct? Yeah. So look into that stuff, guys. There are regulations there. So you don't want fishing game to roll up on you and you've got two poles in the water with five hooks. You got a bag full of rockfish in the back. Yeah, you're gonna get some $1,000 tickets. And then if you drift into the MPA and you've got possession of fish, I mean they could really ding you. So just play it safe. Um, just be smart out there, guys. When in doubt, just be cautious, right? Go to the one pole, go to the two hooks. Then you don't have anything to worry about. Just take some hooks off. So you can't don't do a dropper loop with a loop and then three hooks on it. Also, I recommend getting some circle hooks, probably some number one or 1/0 circle hooks, and then just doing a dropper loop. And then I put a weight on the bottom, and I just do like I don't know what they call it, like a loop knot. So you can change the weight. You can put an 8 ounce on, 6 ounce, depending how the current is or how deep it is. Um, you can do the weight and then just two hooks. Usually I do circle hooks, and I'll have to do a video on that. But you can loop them in such a way too that you want the hooks like pointing outwards. Maybe I'll have to do a little tutorial instead of sagging back. But I mean that's a little more technical. And then another tip is you can actually do throw a bucktail on the instead of the weight. You can do like a 6 ounce bucktail, which is actually pretty handy. I know any Dan Henderson fans, or not Dan Henderson, Dan Hernandez fans out there know all about the bucktail. But the theory behind that is it's not a theory, it actually does work. When you're on the bucktail and you tip it with like shrimp, if you're going to use bait, shrimp, um, or squid, when you're on the bucktail, it works as a hook and it can also work as a weight. But here's the thing: let's say your um, squid gets picked off by a mackerel or something on the way down. If you're just on a hook, I mean, you could be down there 5 minutes, 20 minutes. You're just letting your bait soak, and you've had no bait on there at all the whole time. It's just a hook. You're not going to get bit. At least with a bucktail, they will still bite the bucktail, even with nothing on it. The bucktail itself is a lure and it is a bait. So if you tip it with shrimp or squid, that's even better. But in the event that you lose that off of the hook, dude, you've actually got still an opportunity to get bit on the bucktail with it just bouncing down off the ground. So that actually works. I know I've been bit. I got Jessica bit on that too. She had a bucktail, got a calico on one of those on a boat, and you could throw like the gulp bait on it or like a grub tail gulp, like on the end of a bucktail. But try that out. So instead of using the weight and two hooks, go with a heavy bucktail, like a 6 ounce bucktail, and then do a hook. Bait them both up, and then if you lose your bait, you're still in the game. You're still in the fishing game. So it's all about efficiency. Don't be out there with bare hooks and losing it. Throw something down there that keeps you in the game, and even when it's off, you can go do it.
Saltwater Slayer and Fake Name are here.
Saltwater Slayer, what's going on, man? How's the fishing up there? You're up in LA area too. Did you have to deal with the sewage spills or anything like that, or did you hear about that? Fake Name, what's going on? You gonna go fishing with us or what? August, get on the boat, man.
Salty said
Let's
he's
do
talking
it.
about the spotty with the bait,
What is a bucktail?
and Eric has a bait take.
Eric, if you guys wait, give me right. This isn't live show etiquette. Give me 30 seconds. I'll go get you some bucktail.
Where's the cat?
Say hi.
No.
All right. Eric, great question. So this is a bucktail. It's a weight with a hook, and it's just got hair on it. Sometimes they use horsehair, natural hair, doesn't matter. And here's another one. Then I got small ones in here too. And this is what I'm talking about right here. So here's a big one. This one is like 6 ounces. And you can see on the back, I put a slug on this one. So you don't need really anything on this. Technically, it'll get bit. So I got a slug on the end. And you can tip this hook with a piece of squid or shrimp. But even if you don't have anything on the back, you can put this on the bottom in lieu of the weight. So this one is 6 ounces. So instead of using a 6-ounce weight, I'll tie the line to this, and then maybe 8 inches up, I'll do another hook. You can throw another bucktail on, like a small one or light one, or you can just do a normal hook. But this is always in the game. So say you're fishing and you have squid on the back and it gets ripped off. This will still get bit. This in and of itself is a bait. So while this is going up and down, if you've lost the bait on all your hooks, this will actually still keep you in the game. So like I said, they're kind of funny. We always cracking on Mr. Hernandez because he's always recommending these, but they do have a place and they do work. That's a bucktail. So if you're doing rock fishing, that's just a good alternative. Get you some bites. If you're using artificials, you probably don't have to worry about it. Like, they're not going to rip that off. The Gulp grubs work. You can tip them with anything, but yeah, I'd recommend that if you're going for rockfish. No, you're in Ventura, but you got 10 spotties today. The bite was on fire on a 4-inch paddle tail. Congratulations, man, dude. That's good. How long did you fish for those 10 spotties? Jesse, do I ever tip slow pitch jigs? I don't. I've seen people do it. I went on a boat and some dude threw a whole squid on one. I don't know if he got bit or not. I didn't see him get bit, but I know people do. I guess you could. I don't know. You're kind of killing the action of the slow pitch, I would think. The whole point of a slow pitch is the motion. So maybe you're just throwing a squid with lots of hooks on it. I don't know. People do it. I think if you did a little bit, like this dude threw a whole squid on. I don't think that was correct. I think if you just did like a little piece, that'd probably be good. And in some scent, a little more flash to the corners. I haven't done it. I don't see why it wouldn't work. If you used a little bit, you'd probably be fine. Bait strips will mess with the. Oh yeah, cave dog. Yeah, bait strips will mess with the action of the jig. That's what I would have thought too. The whole point of the slow pitch is letting it do its thing. Oh, is that a B-52? I see. A man of taste, 2 geeks. I don't know if that's a B-52 actually. Was it? It could be. I know that heavy one wasn't, but it might have been. Looking out for you, my boy Dan Hernandez, B-52 bucktails. You better cut me a check for that. That's funny. That might be it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, check that out, guys. If you're going for the rockfish this weekend, it's good for sure.
Rockfish on slow pitch.
Last week, La Jolla caught some rockfish on slow pitch, but the cut squid setup was definitely out fishing it. Yeah, slow pitch will crush them. I like slow pitch stuff just because you don't have to. You're not worrying about bait. But man, that live bait. If you watch my last video, dude, I caught a sand bass or a barred sand bass. I had a mackerel that was like probably 8 inches long, and the fish that ate it was probably only like, it was like 18 inches or something, but it choked this thing down. I'm like, dude, how'd you get that mackerel down? It was crazy. Sometimes you think about throwing, at least I do. You ever like, you think you're going to throw a bait that's like too big and you're like, oh man, this is just too much. And then I see him eat these things and it's crazy. For an hour, dude, 10 spotties in an hour. That's awesome. I want to get a halibut. Have you fished those a whole lot or no? Yeah, I caught a big old 30, I think a 32-inch halibut early this year. I got another 23, a couple legals this year already. But yeah, if you want to get halibut, fake name, just Yeah, you can get them. You got to know where to go. If you're going out on a party boat, it depends what they're looking for. The best way for halibut is usually trolling, either casting like an A rig or trolling an A rig, or you do like a bounce ball where you put a weight with like a trailer on it and then carry some bait. Really got to cover a lot of ground for halibut and entice the bite. Kind of drag it along the bottom, close to the bottom. Um, I know, but I like calling you fake name. I'm trying to keep your identity, man. Right? You got the fake name, 39. I'm not trying to blow you up. Right to privacy, man. You guys that don't know, that's my friend Josh, my lifelong friend, 20 plus years. He lives out in the desert, but yeah, halibut you usually want to cover quite a bit of ground. So it's kind of hard, like off the fishing boats. You can get them, like if you drop it right in their face, they'll take it. Live bait usually, or curly tail grubs is what I have luck on the A rig for halibut. That's what I've got my two legals on this year. The Rodney drop shot, yeah, that works too. So if you're fishing from shore, so those of you guys that don't know, it's basically like a dropper loop. I like to use it with two hooks, just to weight, two hooks, cast it out, and just reel it in slow. Let those paddle tails or curly tail grubs do the work. Yeah, but again, just covering lots of water, keep it close to the ground. Eventually, you'll get bit. I mean, if you're fishing for spotted bay bass, you're gonna get halibut. I mean, eventually you're gonna get them. I've caught halibut on Ned rig out here in the Carlsbad Lagoon, just fishing for spotties. It'll happen. But yeah, bounce ball is probably the best, or trolling the A rig. I think if you're like just looking for halibut. I mean, you're gonna get spotties are gonna kill that A rig too, but I think it's your best bet. Sandy, look for sandy floor too. They don't um, spotted bay bass, barred sand bass. They like to live in structure, rock piles, pilings. But the halibut like to bury in the sand. They're predators. They're ambush predators. They'll wait. So sandy areas, that way you can get away from the spotties a little bit. Usually they're not buried in the eelgrass; they're just in the sand. You know, they got the flat heads with the eyes looking up. So just cover lots of ground in the flats, in the flat sand, and they'll come up and get it for sure. The one that got taxed by the seal, yeah, that was. I was out there with Cal and I caught that legal spotty, and not spotty. I'm sorry, halibut. It was like 22 inches. This was my second one, and I put it on a game clip. I didn't have a bag or anything. I wasn't expecting to catch a keeper halibut, and I was trying to keep it cool. It was like late winter. It was like fall probably, and I was just going around with it. And I didn't see any seals all day, like nothing. So I just had it on the game clip, and I was aware of it too, right? Like, what's going on? We were on comms, and I was actually heading in. I'm like, you know what? I got a halibut keeper. I'm just gonna go in. I don't want this thing to get too rotten out here. And Cal goes, "Hey, I see a seal behind you." We were on comms, and he's like, "There's a seal. There's a seal." And I'm like, I'm looking around, and I snap, and that thing just it bit the halibut, snapped it grabbed it by the tail, so it snapped the game clip off right on my kayak, and then it just mocked us and tossed it around behind us, flipped it around, twisted it, threw it in the air. It was pretty funny. I had seals almost jumping my boat, stealing a barracuda one time. I think Roman had that on one of his live streams. You could probably find it. It's freaking crazy. Be careful with those things. So I don't recommend the game clip unless there's no seals around. But just be cautious because they'll come up and get it. I mean, they're not seals; they're actually sea lions, California sea lions. Those things are brazen, man. They give no f's. Caught a small halibut using a gulp sandworm while surf fishing last Wednesday. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, they'll get them. The Lucky Craft too. They'll get them in the surf. Lucky Craft definitely. Sand around grass structure, rocks, etc. Yep. Yeah, the sand around the rocks and structure. Salty's right because that's where the stuff that they eat comes from. So they'll lay in the sand outside of the structure, and then as the bait or spotties or whatever come out, they go out and eat them. And don't lip a halibut. Don't stick your finger. Don't dip your thumb in its mouth. Those things have teeth, man. It's not like a spotty. You cannot lip those things. So make sure you got lip grippers. Make sure you got a way to get it on board. It's a different ball game for sure.
Amanda wants to know what's the one fish you want to go after that you haven't yet.
The one fish I want to go after that I haven't yet.
Marlin?
Probably no, not a marlin. I would say I was just talking about it. with you guys, and now I don't remember. Oh, it was Wahoo. I think that'd be pretty cool to go after.
Then Hawaii only.
Hawaii, I know they got them for sure, but I think you can get them in Mexico too. I'm not too sure, but yeah, those they're just like a giant barracuda. It's like you take a barracuda and pump it up like 3 times. Yeah, that's something I haven't caught that I definitely want to go for. Something I can target. Last year it was like the Dorado. We went and crushed those. The mahi mahi, that was super fun. So yeah, I got my hand stuck in a baby halibut's mouth. It hurt. Yeah, man, it's no joke. Roosterfish, cave dog. Yeah, roosterfish would be cool. Pretty much anything, man. Going after anything different, you know. Who had a question up here?
Jesse had a question above a little bit.
Jesse had a question. How often do you check your line for nicks? I keep getting busted off. That's a great question, Jesse. First off, have you switched to monofilament? That would be my next. That would be my first tip. Instead of the fluorocarbon, depending what you're fishing for. Every time I catch a fish, I pull one up. If I know like I've rubbed against a piling or something or got like my lure stuck, I'll check it. I'll just rub my finger through it. But for like slow pitch jigging, anything that's going to elicit a reaction bite, slow pitch jig, swim bait, anything like that, I'm not too worried about the fluorocarbon. I don't really think I need the sight. Fluorocarbon would be, I think if you're fishing a Ned rig, a finesse stuff, Ned rig, drop shot, something where they're looking at and you're enticing them. You know, you don't want them to be line shy, where they're going to come up, look at it, peck at it, and then they go for it. Go for the fluorocarbon. But if you're fishing like the slow pitch jigs or even like a swim bait, I recommend really switching to monofilament. I've switched over to mono for almost all my stuff because I was losing so many fish. I was getting broken off. The abrasion resistance is not as good on fluorocarbon. It's trash. And the knot strength is not as good either. I mean, monofilament has been the way to go. I mean, I don't know why I never tried it. I just thought, oh, fluoro's the best. Fluoro's the best. I think I was telling you guys, I heard a Salt Strong podcast about it. They were going over the numbers and the actual reality. So I went and tried it, and really it changed. That's how I landed that 16 3/4. And it was what over 2.5 pound spotty that one won the spotty bowl tournament for heaviest spotty. And that thing was curled up in it, man. It was like the spines get it, the gill plate gets it. They have so many things that can cut it. And if you're using a small bait, when they swallow it, the teeth are then running on the line, you know, where a circle hook gets them in the corner. The whole point of that is so their teeth don't wear off the line. But I've had them eat these little micro jigs and then their teeth are all over the line. I do not get broken off with the mono. I don't think I've had one break off yet. I've had them tied around pilings. I've got them out of rocks. So I would honestly consider switching to monofilament. I'm not going back to the fluoro for slow pitch or anything, or not anything. I mean, finesse fishing probably that definitely has its place, but check it after every fish. Just run your fingers through it, because I've had nicked up, beat up lines even on the mono, and it still works. You know that I was using the Seagar like Blue Label and stuff, and whenever it gets nicked up, it starts peeling away like string cheese. You know what I'm talking about? It gets nicked up and it starts peeling, and you're the same way. I was losing fish. I was getting bit, and I'd get this really hard fight, and then 5 seconds later it would come off, and it wasn't a bad knot, or I'd come off with half my leader. And you know what happened was the fish got twisted up in there, and its spines, its gill plate, its teeth, they cut the line. When it starts fighting and it twists the line, it'll just saw it off. And so that's my tip. I would, you guys at least just try mono, try it out, see what you think. And it's awesome. Salty Dangler, what pound mono you're using? I'm actually using 20 pound. I've been using the Iser line. It's called Triple X, Iser line Triple X. It's super smooth. It's super subtle or supple. That stuff's awesome. I got some Andy, like 15 pound. I don't think it was as good, but I've just been throwing straight 20 pound monofilament. I've been killing it. I won a first place with it, so it's not like, oh, I lost bites or that. So I've tested it. I've done the mono. I've done the fluoro. I've seen better results with the mono, not just like equal, but I'm landing fish that I would have normally lost 100% that I was losing on the fluoro.
Two Geeks had a question up above a little bit.
Two Geeks question: what pound line do you fish when targeting barracuda in the harbor? My favorite 20-gram cold sniper got bit off by 10 pound yesterday. Yeah, sometimes wire leader. If I was doing a test with wire leader earlier this year. I was actually tying it. So here's the thing. Now that you bring that up, I was I was losing so many fish using the slow pitch jig where they would fight it and I would lose it like 5 seconds later and I'd pull up like 3 feet of the line was gone and I couldn't figure out what it was doing. And I actually switched. I was putting steel leaders on, and dude, I was crushing it on steel. They were still biting on the steel leaders. I was doing a all bright knot, like with the steel leader with the mono or with the braid. Actually, I'd go braid mono. At this point, I was still using fluorocarbon, so I'm sorry. I would go braid, and then I went the fluorocarbon, and then I was doing like a short steel leader, and that stuff was actually working. And that's where I kind of figured out that was the problem because that steel leader was just getting beat up and it was getting bent because I knew that's what was happening. And I stopped losing fish on the steel leader. And that's when I switched to the monofilament because I was like, okay, if I can get the benefits of it's not quite as good as the steel leader, but I was still catching fish on the steel. So when you're getting the reaction bite, it's okay. Run the steel. You could probably run straight braid, but braid doesn't have abrasion resistance. You don't really need, you're not worried about the sight with something like that. They see it, they attack it. It's not finesse fishing, it's reaction bite fishing. So yeah. But if I'm going for topwater fish like that, like barracuda, dude, one time I lost like I think like 2 lucky craft and like some other lure. Yeah, it sucks. Another one too is like throw the crocodile lure for barracuda because then the cold sniper's got the treble hook in the back too. I was gonna say because usually they'll bite the back and they stick on. The stick bait sometimes they get hooked in the side and it's too close and they saw the line off. But yeah, so if you're gonna go target barracuda, just do a little steel leader. You can get like 15 pound steel leader. It's not gonna affect anything. Just do a little bit on that way the teeth don't cut through it. I mean, I literally saw one swim past the front of my bait by my boat and cut the line. Its teeth went right through it.
Yeah, we had like a little over 2 minutes to do spotted bait bass and fries.
All right. Yeah, the 15-pound tray and call it good. Yeah, dude, that stuff works. I got some of that too. I got the big game, like the 20-pound, 25-pound. I lost 3 assist hooks last week and had one bend out. Dude, that's crazy. But yeah, it happens. You lost just the hooks and not the lures? I mean, I take that all day. But yeah, I've been able to horse stuff out. But try it, guys. If you're fishing the slow pitch, go mono and then give me the results or see what you guys think. Don't just take my word for it. Test it out, see if it works for you. But the proof's in the pudding, man. I mean, I got a W and the heaviest fish with it, so I'm not too worried about it.
A fish went through, but it was already in his kayak, but it bit through.
Surprised it came through with all the hooks still in its mouth. Oh, you lost one, Leonard, last week in a spot. You bit through the. Oh, really? The red assist hook. Luckily, you have a spot. Dude, that's crazy. I haven't seen that. That's wild. Yeah, those teeth are crazy. Cast Queen, welcome. Thank you for the like. Thanks for joining. Just the hooks. Hey man, I'll take that all day. I got a whole thing of hooks. Sweet, thanks for the tips. Yeah, man, no problem. It does happen. All right, we feel too poor to fish. Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. Fishing is an expensive sport, dude. I've lost so much money in lures. That's the slow pitch game too. But a tip for that, I know I've gone over it. For those little ones, take the treble hook off and put on an assist hook. Man, because those treble hooks, they get stuck in the oysters and the pilings and you cannot get them off. The assist hooks, they don't snag as much and then you can usually yank them off. They're just not as bad. So that helps out as well. We got like 10 minutes left. Yeah. So anyways, talk to you guys about my spotted bay bass eating experience. So 4th of July or the weekend before, no, it was 4th of July weekend, but it was that Friday before we all went fishing at the bait barge before. So it was kind of a perfect storm of things. I had my cold bag with ice packs in it in case I got some big barred sand bass or some halibut or something at the bait barge. But prior to that, I got out earlier before everybody. Me and Eric did some fishing at the docks and I was trying out my fish frosting. Boom, there it is. Hopefully, guys, I think this will maybe be on sale next week. So I was testing this stuff out on some different lures. And what happened was I had it on like a little shrimp lure. So I wanted to try the shrimp, right? I was like, let's see how this works. I got it all on video too. So I'll make a video of it. And this spotty, I mean, it choked this thing like way, way deep. But the problem was it got stuck in its gills, and it was like a 15.5 inch spotted bay bass. It sucked this thing down, but when I pulled it up, it was already bleeding, like from the gills. Like the hook was, it kind of went through and got stuck in the gills, and it was bleeding from the gills already. I was able to get the hook out. Um, did some surgery on it. I was able to push it down. It wasn't like gut hooked that bad. I didn't like rip its guts out or anything. So I pulled the hook out, and I was able to release it. And it actually swam away. I put it in the water, took off, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, cool." I didn't think it was gonna make it, or I was kind of worried. So I did a U-turn in my kayak, and I'm fishing the same area. I'm just fishing the docks. Like I said, I'm testing this stuff out. Um, Fishing again. All of a sudden, I hear like the splash or like this plunk, right? And the spotty's upside down. This was like 5 minutes later. It was the spot. It was that spotty that I had caught. It was upside down. It was kicking a little bit, and then it just stopped, and it was drifting. So swam over it, pulled it out. It was dead. It didn't make it. And it was a 15. Like I said, it was a good size spotty too. So I feel bad for taking it. It was like 15 and a half or something like that. Good size. But perfect storm was I had my fish bag with me. I had ice packs. So I'm like, you know what? This thing's just gonna go to waste. It's belly up. It's already dead. So I just tossed it in the back of my bag, and then I brought it home and then ate it. So I've always heard the stories that like it's the worst fish, right? Every time you hear about people talking spotties, they give like the barf emoji and stuff. So like I'm expecting the worst. Everybody's like, oh, it's crap. Spotty's trash. And so I don't know if people just say spotty's trash. I think, let's be honest, we don't want to harvest spotted bay bass because they're a sport fish. I totally get it. I'm not in the business of keeping spotties. I don't think anybody is. But I also think people give spotties kind of this bad rap. Maybe it's just because it's the harbor and they're the toxins and stuff. And I understand that argument. So I smoked the spotty, smoked this thing, um, put some butter on it, some dill, and then I think I grilled it real quick. My wife ate some, and then I ate some, and it was good. It was fine. I thought it was pretty good. If you would have served that to me, if I went to your house and you said, "Oh yeah, we're having fish," and you gave me this fish, I would have been like, "Dude, this is pretty good." It's not like the best fish you've ever had, right? You wouldn't like go out of your way for it, but it is not bad. I've had a lot worse fish. It was firm. It was super firm. Like it wasn't soft like some fish. Like the even when I filleted it, it was like really firm meat, but it was good. Spotted bay bass was good. I mean, I'll make a video. I'll play the video for you guys next time where we actually ate it. I did the taste test. I cooked it up. And I'll show you when I caught it too. You could see what had happened. I got a pretty good documentary of it, kind of what happened. And I'm fishing and you could see it plump up next to me. Kind of sucks. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, am I going to keep spotted bay bass and eat them? No. I mean, that's not my intention. There's better fish to eat. I still got a freezer full of fish. I got bluefin in there. I've got bonito, all kinds of stuff. Got halibut. So I'm good on the fish. But I'm just saying, so have you guys eaten spotty before? It wasn't bad. Actually, it was pretty good. And I went in thinking, sometimes too, when like you psych yourself out before you eat something, you think it's going to be bad, and it's like it is bad because you think it's bad. And I kind of went in like I tasted it. I'm like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, we thought that would be bad, and it was amazing.
Yeah, bonito too. Yeah, everybody was telling us how crap it was. Bonito's the bomb. If you guys don't like that, you've been lied to. Sushi, bonito pokey, masterpiece. You guys try it out. Even Coach he's with me on that one. He says he likes it better than bluefin. Dude, it's up there. Don't sleep on the bonito for sure. I think there's confusion with the bonito. Like, I think on the East Coast, there's a different bonito that they call like false tuna, and there's so many different kind of bonitos. I think it gets confusing, but like the Pacific bonito, that stuff's good. Skipjack's good too. Skipjack tuna. Salty, you had one once, right? I think everybody's tried one once. Bonito's good. Yeah, Dario knows. Bonito ceviche is really good. Yes, Leonard. See, you guys are in the know. I hate going on boats and people are like, "Oh, it's crap. Throw it back. It's oily." You're like, you guys are so stupid. Bonito's great, man. So if you catch it, just put it on ice, get it cold. It's awesome. It's really good. It's a true tuna. So don't sleep on that. Yeah, the false albacore, is that what they call it? Saltwater slayer. Yeah, see, and I think that's a different. Yeah, bonito pokey's good. Dave Rage. See, you guys know because you know why you guys are real fishermen. You understand. You don't just listen to the to the nonsense. I don't know where it got that rap. I think maybe because if you catch them and it sits out and the meat gets mushy. I mean, I could see where it goes bad, but yeah, definitely.
Just knows how to make the halibut.
How do I cook halibut? Usually you just pan fried, or I'll smoke it. I smoke everything, dude. I eat like I smoke snakes, steaks, ribs, brisket, fish,
Burgers, meatloaf,
burgers, meatloaf, whatever. I'll throw it in the smoker.
cookies.
Cookies I've smoked back when I used to eat sugar many, many years ago. Um, yeah, halibut. You can even crush up macadamia nuts. I did that. Crush them up macadamia nuts and then fried it. That's really good. That's like some gourmet action right there. Halibut, you got to be careful though because it overcooks really fast. It's not a real fatty fish, so babysit it. And once it hits like 130, take it off. You don't want it going over that because then it'll cook a little more inside and it'll be perfect. Yeah, smoked fish is so good. I think the stigma is bonitos. People don't care for them properly. Yeah, any fish that you catch, guys, just cut the gills, rip the gills out, or cut its neck. For one, you'll kill it fast, but you also want to bleed it. So any fish that you're going to keep, get the blood out of it. Wave it around in the water. Make sure there's no sea lions around. Either cut its neck or the gills, so when it's bleeding, and just let it pump the blood out in the water, because that's what'll do it. Any fish you're going to keep, I don't care what it is. Trout is the same thing. Bonito, I don't care. Barred sand bass, bleed it. It'll make it that much better. Halibut, that giant halibut I caught. First thing I did once I was going to keep it, I cut its gills and just drained it out, drained all the blood out of it. So, pro tip right there. Bonito tuna fish sandwiches. They were actually super good too. Yeah, dude, bonito's good. So anybody watching the show, man, get the bonito. All right, guys, it's almost time. So we have a drawing. Anybody that commented on the last video, it was what was the color of my kayak? The official color. It's papaya orange. How many people did we have?
6.
We had 6 people enter. So those of you that don't know, like I said, I think the shop will be up next week where I'm going to sell the fish frosting. This stuff, guys, I've been making for like a year. I got tons of footage on it. This stuff gets killed. It gets bit. This one's shrimp. I use real bait in it. I suck it out with the salt, and then I put the salt in a mixture and then let it dissolve in the water. This stuff's awesome. Anyways, winner of 2 stickers. Salty, you already won some of these last time. So, like I said, either in Discord, you can send me a private message, or if I see you on the water, I'll just give you a pair. I got the holographic color. So we're going to put it in the randomizer. Drum roll.
We need to get some good sound effects.
I know. I need some sound effects. I need a soundboard. The winner is Stingray. Stingray, congratulations. You won yourself 2 submission fishing stickers. So if you're in Discord, my name is Muto. You can just find me there on the Mad Max Discord. Personal message me, or if I see you out on the water, if you want to meet up, I can give them to you too. If you don't want to give me your address, totally understandable. But so Salty, you got stickers, and then Stingray, you got stickers. So that's cool, guys. Should we do another drawing?
Yeah, I've got another question.
Or am I giving away too many stickers? You guys want another drawing? Let's see. I got to think of a question though. What is a good question?
I had some last week, but I can't think of them right now.
I'll think of a question. I haven't catch any barracuda or
What
barred
else
salmon.
fell in the water the day you lost your phone?
Didn't I already have that question or no? Okay, so the day during Spotty Bowl, I lost.
There were 2 objects that fell.
There was 2 objects that fell in the water.
I don't remember what video it was.
One was my phone, and there was an object before that I lost in the water.
That just happened.
So, and this video, so what you're gonna do? Go back after this one is ended. Go in the comments and tell me what I lost in the water. I lost my phone the second time, and then I lost another one. I think it was like my 3rd or 4th video. It was the day I won one of the Spotty Bowls I tied with Leonard and Brian for first. So check that out. Leave the comment. It's your chance to win some stickers. 2 stickers on the line. We'll do another drawing next time. And you guys,
You cried. You lost your pride.
lost my pride. Yeah, I did, man. That was a rough day. If you guys watched that video, it was a struggle, and then we went Rocky style. We kept fighting, kept throwing punches, kept hitting back. My phone and my dignity. That's true. It was a heartbreaker. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Like I said, Roman's doing for those of you guys watch this show, if you're not familiar, Roman Castro, I believe is his channel, Roman Castro Vlog on here on YouTube. He's doing a special tomorrow. He went out tuna fishing and he's gonna go out with Brian Likes to Fish, who's another Slayer. Him and the Sea Samurai, Kevin Nakata. Those guys kill it. So he's gonna go over a video where they went out and killed some bluefin tuna. Super awesome. So I know there's gonna be some good knowledge on there. Butterbear wants to come say hi. She's a good girl. So yeah, go check it out. Check out his video tomorrow. I think it's 7:00. They're gonna do like a pre-show, and then they're gonna talk about the talk about all the this cat. Talk about the adventure. I guess they got some stuff, and then watch on Fishy Hour. So if you're not familiar with that show, go check him out, Roman Castro on YouTube, and then check out Fishy Hour as well. He does a show like this one, Mondays and Wednesdays. And I'll see you guys out at La Jolla. If you have any questions, if you guys aren't watching this live, if you're watching the replay, just let me know. If you have any questions, I'll look in the comments and try to answer them on the show. Like I said, I don't have the answers for everything. I'm just learning like you guys, trying to get better. We're trying to get our black belt in fishing. And you guys are awesome. I'll be out in La Jolla if you want to fish with me. Oh, she's stepping on the lights. Derailing the stream here. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next week. We'll see you out on the water this weekend. Peace.